Yizzo, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business. And listen, you can tap in and you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest? And I suggest you tap in, so let's get right into it. And Big U, you are the topic of discussion, my G. Big U, you are the topic of discussion, so let's get right into it. And you know, I said it before in the first video, the LAPD and Big U killed Nipsey Hussle, allegedly. Let's not forget the allegedly. You feel what I'm saying? If you haven't seen that video, go back, watch it, catch up, and then tap into this video. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you got to understand the dynamics of the situation. You got to understand the full dynamics of the situation. Just how involved the LAPD was when it comes to Nipsey Hussle and a whole Crip gang over there on Crenshaw and Slauson. Just how heated, just how mad they was when Nipsey actually brought that shopping center. Because the whole time the LAPD was setting traps. The whole time the LAPD was setting traps, trying to get Nipsey Hussle, you know, caught up in one of them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, it's way bigger than the LAPD. It's way bigger than Big U, but it starts with them. And that's why I'm on their head. It starts with them. The LAPD played as if they wanted to, you know, have a meeting with Nipsey Hussle. They played as if they wanted to play fair with Nipsey Hussle, being as though he was the known leader of the Crips. You understand? The known leader, the visual leader, the guy that was in the forefront, right? The whole time it was a setup. The whole time it was a setup. And Big U, you know, he played as if he was cool with Nipsey Hussle. He played as if, you know, I'm fine with what Nipsey Hussle's doing. I'm supporting Nipsey. I got every, you know, we are friends. And the whole time he had a whole bunch of animosity, a whole bunch of envy, and a whole bunch of hate for the late, great Nipsey Hussle. Now, you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. You know what I'm saying? We coming from multiple different angles. Yeah, multiple different angles. And that segues me into my first angle. And that starts with the song called Don't Have a Clue. Now, when I got into Nipsey Hussle back in like 2013, 14, you know, the first CD that I listened to, me personally, was The Marathon Continues. Yes, The Marathon Continues CD. It is a classic mixtape from Nipsey Hussle. If you haven't heard it, go back, check it out. You feel what I'm saying? But it was a song on there called Don't Have a Clue. And it was one of my favorite songs. Don't Have a Clue. Now, mind you, at this time, I didn't know that Nipsey was actually aiming this song at Big U. He was talking to somebody. I just thought it was a very clever and you know, a very dope song. You know what I mean? And it resonated with me. And in this song, you know, Nipsey's talking about, you know, you don't have a clue what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And people, he was talking about how people want to, you know, take credit for your accomplishments. You understand what I'm saying? Now, later on, I found out that that song was directed straight at Big U. Directly at Big U. And Big U knew that. So what ended up happening is, you know, if you're not aware what goes on within the gangs, when the higher up, when the elite in the gang feels like you have done something wrong, something to embarrass the gang, you have to be DP'd. You have to be disciplined. And Big U made the call. He said, Nip Hussle, we're going to discipline you, and I'll be over there tomorrow morning. You feel what I'm saying? Now, Nipsey Hussle is at the shop. Black Sam is at the shop. This is all well documented. You know, Big U pulls up. He goes to disciplining Nipsey Hussle, and Black Sam says, nah, man, I'm not going to let you just, you know, beat up my pops and beat up my brother like that. And Black Sam pulls out a gun and gets the licking off in the air and breaks up the DP. But that right there, I'm speaking on that just to, you know, let you know that there was friction between Big U and Nipsey Hussle and his family. You understand? Especially Nipsey Hussle's family. They did not rock with Big U. They didn't rock with the gang. Nipsey was the only one that was rolling 60 Crip. Nobody else in his family was rolling 60 Crip. And that's where the animosity started. You understand what I'm saying? That's where the animosity began. Now, you already know how we do here at Grown Man Business. Multiple different angles. Multiple different angles. You understand what I'm saying? And that segues me into my second angle. And that's the animosity and the envy that built up within Big U. You know, when you watch Big U's interviews, you will start to hear him say things like, you know, Nipsey Hussle, what he's rapping is my life. What he's rapping, it's all my life. That's really me. You know, and that's because, you know, Big U wanted the fame. He wanted more than being just the head of the Crips, just the leader of the Crips. He wanted the fame that Nipsey Hussle was gaining. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let's dig deep into this. You know, when somebody says what he's rapping about is my life, nah, what he's rapping about is his life. You understand what I'm saying? What he's rapping about is his experiences and the things that he went through. You know, but when someone says that, it's a red flag. It's a sign of hate. It's a sign of envy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, mind you, you know, nobody really knows who Big U is to the public eye. Everybody knows who Nipsey Hussle is to the public eye. And Nipsey Hussle is starting to grow. Nipsey Hussle is starting to grow. And, you know, with his recognition, with his fame, with his fortune. And Big U wants a piece of that. It's called extortion. It's called extortion. And one thing you will understand about the gangs, one thing I've learned by studying and watching the LA gangs is that nobody can be bigger than the program. That's how they word it. Nobody can become bigger than the program. And I'm going to tell you, the second you become bigger than the program, they murder you. You get murdered. You get wiped out. You know, however it works out, you get taken out. You understand what I'm saying? Now, again, you know how we do here at Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles. Multiple different angles, my G. And that segues me into my third angle, the program. Nipsey was becoming bigger than the program. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what do I mean by that? Nipsey, you know, Big U is who ushered him into the record business, helped him get his first deal, you know, but Nipsey, with his knowledge, with his information, with his charisma, you understand, he started to become bigger than the program into the world. Nipsey looked like the head of the Crips. Nipsey looked like King Crip. Nipsey looked like the leader of the Crips. And the LAPD, who had a secret investigation on Nipsey Hussle, called him the leader of the Crips. They called his shopping center the headquarters for the Crips. Now, that is, you know, putting Big U to the back and pushing Nipsey to the forefront. And again, when you become bigger than the program, they murder you. They murder you. And you got to understand something with Shitty Cuz. He would have never pulled the trigger on Nipsey Hussle without Big U putting his stamp on it. You understand? Yeah, the LAPD had their hands in it. But Big U, when it comes to the Crips, he's bigger than the LAPD. And he had to put a stamp on that. He had to put a stamp on touching one of Big U's investments. Do you understand what I'm saying? It gets deep, man, and it gets wicked. Yeah, Big U. It gets deep and it gets wicked. Because Nipsey was becoming bigger than the program. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Big U somehow is collecting funds. He lives on the top of the hill. He has a night. Where's this money coming from? I'm going to tell you where it came from. His hand in getting rid of Nipsey Hussle. Helping the LAPD get rid of Nipsey Hussle in a fashion that would wash their hands and keep their hands clean. You know, it's going to come out soon enough. That's why this case has been stalled for so long. Because there's no way to proceed with the case without implicating the LAPD, without exposing the LAPD. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to make this a long one, but I had to make a follow-up to the LAPD and Big U killed Nipsey Hussle, allegedly. Allegedly. You got to use the word allegedly these days. You understand what I'm saying? And it is what it is, man. They killed a good dude, a very informative dude. Yeah, it is what it is. And you already know how we do have Grown Man Business TV. We coming from multiple different angles. We coming from multiple different angles. And that segues me into my last angle. And that's how they got rid of Nipsey Hussle and they gave us Crip Mac. I'm going to say that again. They got rid of Nipsey Hussle and they gave us Crip Mac. Think about that. Think about that. Think about how, you know, Nipsey Hussle was giving you information, showing you how to invest, talking about, you know, all the opportunity zones in America, just giving you the game on how to be a boss and how dangerous that was. And then on top of that, buying out the shopping center, the very shopping center that he started in, the very shopping center that they called the headquarters for the Crips. He brought it out for $2 million. Think about this now. You understand? Think about how dangerous he was to the government. Think about how dangerous he was to LAPD. You understand? And being as though they could not touch him because a war would erupt. A war would erupt. They needed somebody of stature within the game. Somebody with a name, somebody with leadership qualities, somebody that has, you know what I'm saying, some skin in the Crip gang to stamp Nipsey Hussle's death and get somebody to do it. And here comes Shitty Cuz. But, you know, after Shitty Cuz does what he does and kills Nipsey Hussle the Great, here comes Crip Mac. A very, you know, and this is no disrespect to Crip Mac, but he has no information to give the youth. He's not informative about anything that's going to take you to the next level. All he represents is, you know what I'm saying, mainline gang banging. You understand what I'm saying? He's whacking out different hoods in all his songs. He has different hoods whacked out and tattoos on his forehead. Everything about Crip Mac is exactly what Nipsey Hussle was against and was what Nipsey Hussle did not do. Nipsey didn't have videos with other hoods being whacked out. He didn't tolerate his homies whacking out hoods and songs because he knew that could create a war. That could create more violence. You understand what I'm saying? But you kill Nipsey Hussle and you give us Crip Mac. You kill Nipsey Hussle and you give us Crip Mac. You kill the guy who brings the violence down, who can stop the wars. You understand? But if Nipsey Hussle stops the wars, what did the LAPD have to do? You know, that a lot of them would have got laid off. A lot of them wouldn't have had a job because the crime would have went down so far. You bring in a Crip Mac who doesn't have any information about opportunity zones, who doesn't have any information about owning your own product. He hasn't, you know, he's barely even, you know, copywritten any, patented any of his own name, his own items. But the one thing he does push the most is Hoover destruction, Hoover killer, war, destruction. He pushes that, and he pushes that hard, and they give us Crip Mac. He has over 200,000 followers and subscribers on YouTube. Think about the transfer of energy. You understand? Now, again, you gotta look past the smoke and mirrors, man. You gotta look at the elites and the higher ups. You gotta look up at all times. You understand what I'm saying? And yes, Shitty Cuz would not have ever pulled the trigger on Nipsey Hussle without the stamp of Big U. Yeah, it's a reason. It's a reason why they killed Nipsey Hussle, auctioned off his shopping center to some Russians, you understand, and gave us Crip Mac. And Big U has nothing to say about it. You have never seen Big U look distraught about Nipsey Hussle's death. You have never seen Big U look like, man, I can't believe my homie's gone. Any of those things. Yeah, and it's a reason for that. Because it was hidden animosity. It was hidden envy. And it was a come up for him. Because you cannot become bigger than the program. And Nipsey Hussle was 100 times bigger than the program. So you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business. And listen, you can tap in or you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. Straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight off the brick into the bottle. Straight raw, pure, uncut. No extras, no preservatives. You understand? We not sugarcoat nothing and we not dressing nothing up. Big U, we giving it to you straight raw. And yes, it was animosity. Big U had a problem with Nipsey Hussle because he was becoming bigger than the program. You understand? Nipsey had a song called Don't Have a Clue, directed right at Big U. Big U felt it in his heart that he wanted to discipline Nipsey Hussle, and he tried to. But Black Sam licked them shots off in the air. It's a reason why the case has been stalled. Because any further progression with Nipsey Hussle's case will expose the LAPD and Big U for killing Nipsey Hussle, allegedly. You understand? So you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business. And listen, you can tap in or you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. Gang.